Hi, everybody. We're here with Reverend Alicea and Sydney talking about some of the awesome things that our college are doing together in this time. So first I want to ask Reverend Alicea, what are we doing to get together our college students who aren't all home, but are also kind of locked down like the rest of us right now?
Thank you. We are meeting in a Snapchat group. That's how we began. It occurred to me that most of our college students were probably back in the area since dorms had closed and colleges were moving to online. The only one that's in our group that's not here is Jordan, and she lives off campus. So she's still at her home in Ann Arbor, but she comes into our group and meets with us. So we meet weekly just to kind of get everybody together to talk and fellowship and just to make sure everybody's doing okay, just to touch base.
That's
So.
good. So I hear that you all are working on a project through one of our clergy people in our conference, Cara Gladstone, who works with a group called Motor City Wesley. And Sydney, you've worked with Motor City Wesley before. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I got started when Reverend Elise actually reached out to me and introduced me to Carl, like first semester of college. So I kind of got to know him through her. And one of the things that they do with the groups, it's called like conspiracies of goodness. So he gives you $100 or $100 per person. You have to go out in your community and do an outreach and make something good out of it. We did, me and two of my other friends did the Warming Hearts of the Homeless. So we started it kind of to help out with our warming center. The first year we did gloves and hand warmers. Next year was sweatshirts. This year with our like portable shower unit, we did underwear and socks. So we've just kind of been reaching out about that and kind of doing different things. It's a Methodist group down at Wayne State. So it's kind of right my hometown, basically. Quote, hometown.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and so what I've heard is that you all are ready to conspire again, working with Reverend Alicea and Reverend Carl Gladstone to do something cool with our student group this right now in the midst of what's going on. So can you talk a little bit about what that's going to look like and what you all are doing?
Carl actually reached out. I think it was either Pastor Dan or Reverend Lisa. I don't know who he reached out to first, but then it actually came to us in one of our meetings by Reverend Lisa. We all decided to pool all of our stuff together. We were kind of thinking what we could do. We kind of wanted to thank all the healthcare workers that we knew that was the route we were going to go in. Then it was just a matter of deciding what we should do. If we wanted to get like granola bars or trail mix or fruit snack, whether it be like a little snack and send it. And then I don't know who came up with the idea, but we thought of maybe catering a meal and sending it to a hospital. So for the first day we met together to talk about that, it was more deciding what we wanted to do and where we wanted to send it. We kind of decided to go with McLaren Macomb because it's kind of in Mount Clemens. They'd know our church. And then we decided to do a carry-out meal. So we were deciding what in the area that we could do too. So we kind of decided on catering Jimmy John's and sending it to the hospital. So we also we're going to try to make thank you cards just within our group and kind of send it with the meal.
That's awesome. That'll be, I'm sure that will be much appreciated.
Yeah, we're going to try to do maybe ICU and respiratory therapy because those are the areas that are most affected by this. Those are the ones that are working their butts off hard to fight this. So kind of want to show them a little bit of thanks and, you know.
So what does that look like? How many sandwiches are you trying to get? Do you know? Or
well, we have about $500 between all of us. It's me, Hannah, Annika, Jessica, and Jordan are all kind of working together on this. So we're going to try to do the Jimmy John's half sandwich and chips combo. So it kind of gives them a little sandwich here and a little snack for later. So it works out to be maybe about 100 sandwiches. The respiratory therapy department is around 20 people, and ICU has maybe 50 at McLaren because one of the guys that works with my dad, his wife is a respiratory therapy therapist. So kind of been talking to her. She's kind of been our point of contact, try to work this all out. So We can kind of feed them, send a little bit extra there, maybe send some extra somewhere else. We don't know yet, but kind of how we want to go about it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Cool project. So what can we do to help your group care for our workers who are caring for others? What can the church do to kind of come alongside you?
We as we were talking about our project, there's really only 2 or so people who are actually, calling Jimmy John's and getting this. There's 2 points of contact within our group, and I thought, well, everybody needs to have a role. So I thought, well, instead of just sending the food, why don't we all endeavor to make thank you cards? And then that led to, well, I bet the church would like to make thank you cards and send some along. So what we're asking is for the congregation to hand make cards, or if they have thank you cards lying around and they want to write a little note, to send those to my home address. So we don't overload the church's mailbox, but to send them to my home address. And Sydney actually works just down the street from my home. She's going to stop by sometime during the week, next week. We'd like to have those by next Friday, which I believe is the 21st? I don't know exactly what the date is, but next Friday, we would like to have those cards gathered, and Sydney's going to pick them up. And when the girls take the sandwiches to the hospital, they will deliver all of the cards to the hospital to be distributed to the doctors and nurses there.
Awesome. I think next Friday is the 24th. So that's a good date to aim for, to have all the cards in so that we can do this. This is kind of a critical time, and then awesome to step forward and do this. Well, I'm excited about this project. It's awesome. I'm thankful for our college students who are stepping up. I'm thankful for Motor City Wesley, who's kind of partnering alongside us. But I'm also excited that this can be something that our whole church can do together by sending thank you notes and cards. And hopefully in the midst of all that's going on, we can brighten some days of our healthcare workers, especially those who are really in those difficult spots. So I want to thank both of you for your work doing this together, and Sydney kind of working to organize our other college students are working together. I think that's awesome. So thank you both. And I cannot wait to see what this looks like for those who are in need.
It'll be good.